Hey everybody, it's your girl Nell, and welcome to another episode. Well, welcome to a very special episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Guess what? Today is my anniversary. Yes, it is the anniversary of this channel. We are celebrating, I was going to say 31. We're celebrating 3 years on YouTube, 3 years of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio, 327 episodes, and numerous lives, and a handful of shorts. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. 3 years, March 31, 2022, I debuted the pilot episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. I was so nervous. I was excited because at that point with the debut episode or the pilot episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio, I had achieved a goal that I wanted, and that was to be on all media platforms, all streaming media. As in my professional life, I'm a journalist, so I was already on doing print media. I already had a podcast. What else? I had a a website, and just to get started and be on camera, be on YouTube, that was a wonderful thing, and that had checked all the boxes for me wanting to be all media. The Black media maven is what I called myself, what I still do call myself. So happy anniversary to me. Happy anniversary to you, Tiny Studio guests who have been here from the beginning, and also to all of those new subscribers here on the channel. Thank you so much. And I can't believe it. 327 episodes of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. That's a lot. That's what, 100 episodes a year almost? Basically, that's what it breaks down to, about 100 or so episodes per year. So thank you so much for just hanging in there with me. When I got started here in the Tiny Studio, my goal was when I started out, this is Nell's Tiny Studio is like an offshoot of my business. And one of my businesses, I have several, but my crochet and jewelry design business, that's called Blue Lotus Hill Design. So my initial idea when I started this channel was to really market myself and put my fiber arts business out in the forefront. That was the whole idea. But then I felt the need to contribute to the YouTube landscape as a older or more mature woman, and also as an artist. I wanted to contribute to a Black woman artist. And I have so many YouTube channels that I watch and that I subscribe to that are Black woman centered. And I wanted to join that landscape, and I wanted to just be another person, another Black woman out here doing something that she loved, living her passion. And I wanted to put that on YouTube so that other people can see, other Black women and women in general can see that you can get out here and you can put your life down, film your life and put it on YouTube and be positive about it. Because there are so many other, and now I'm getting ready to poo-poo other people. There are so many other YouTubers here, and who are Black women who are not really as positive as they could be, and they showcase a lot of, or broadcast a lot of negativity. But I guess that's the thing about being balanced, when you have being balanced in a world where people love the drama and love the BS and love the negativity. And I wanted to give or offer my contribution to the landscape of something positive. And so when I came onto YouTube, it was about crocheting. It was about my my passion and love for collecting vintage coach. that's what I wanted to do. When I came on the channel, I wasn't really, or started on YouTube, I wasn't really about, I want to make a lot of money, because I wanted to, this is my passion. And I've always subscribed to the philosophy that if you're doing something that you love, then the money will come. And I am also the tortoise in the story of the hare and the tortoise. I believe in slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. And a lot of times I forget that mantra. And I think that, at my big age of 50 blah years of age, years old, I feel that, I make the mistake of comparing myself with other people that I admire and love. And, believing that I should be over there instead of right here. And the universe reminds me, the universe has this way of reminding us and reminding me that you are where you're supposed to be in that moment of time. And so, just like right now, this is my second time recording this video. But I believe that there is always a reason for that. There is a reason why this is my second time recording this video. And it's because the universe is directing me to say some things that you may need to hear. You know what I'm saying? So happy anniversary to me. Happy anniversary to my vintage tiny studio guests, and to all my new subscribers. Thank you. I hope that you enjoy the content here in the tiny studio, and thank you so much for supporting. Please do not hesitate, if you are watching, to subscribe if you have not already subscribed, and please hit the like button. So this is going to be a long video today. Happy anniversary to me. We're going to talk about a few things today. I don't know if we're going to be able to get into politics. The climate here in the United States, as far as the political climate, is just, devastating, just brutal, brutal to African Americans and minorities. It's just ridiculous. I don't even want to talk about it. It's just too much. But, people like to say, Black people like to say sometimes, well, I am not my ancestors. I am not my ancestors. We're made of different stuff. I am not my ancestors. Well, you know what I like to say? I am my ancestor. I am all of my ancestors. And you know what? You can do what you're going to do. And, Nell is going to continue moving in her own direction at her own speed. And I am going to continue to do what it is I know how to do to survive. That's my whole thing right here. And that is the feeling that I get from my ancestors, is that we're going to continue moving forward. Regardless of what's going on outside, we're going to do us. We're going to do us. It's really disconcerting to see all the junk that's going on, today. But people are going to be people, and Nell is going to continue to be Nell. That's just how it is. I know that there's supposed to be some type of march going on April the 5th. Will I be participating? No. No. I marched to the polls on, November the 5th or 6th. That's when I went to, I think it was November the 5th, whatever. I was at the polls, okay? That's what I was doing. That was my march. Everyone else, if you feel like marching, you do so. But as I said in another video, the 92% Black America, we're not marching. We're not doing any of those things because we did that already. We did that already. So, as I said, it's going to be a long video, but not, you might want to watch this video in increments. But, today I have several things going on in the tiny studio. If you were able to see my video from yesterday, Sunday, I was trying to tackle the yarn mess that I have around the tiny studio in different project bags. And I lost or misplaced my yarn winder. But I was, thinking to myself, well, why don't I just go ahead and buy another yarn winder, because it's larger, and then I can make larger cakes. I can also use it to wind my thicker or chunkier um, yarn skeins. So I went ahead and purchased a medium size. And you can't see it right now, but you can hear it. You see it spinning? Yes. So I have a Stanwood Needlecraft yarn ball winder that I purchased last week. And so I have it here on my desk because I'm going to be making cakes of yarn. And I just, I'm trying to get my life, my life in line with whatever it is I need to accomplish this year of 2025. And that's the whole idea, to be intention driven, to be purposeful, to make sure that I am organized, and me being organized with intention is going to help me to be able to accomplish a lot of the things that I would like to accomplish for the year 2025. So one of those things that I am really excited about working on is establishing my apothecary. Now, I am into a lot of different, no, that's not true. I'm not going to tell you that. I am into practicing holistic medicine, and I am into also, how do I say this? Into alternative spirituality. And I consider myself a spiritualist. And what I like to do in practicing is I like to be able to have the tools of the trade. Just like if you're a Christian, your tools of the trade will be a Bible. And if you are like Catholic, you have other tools of the trade that you use in your worship, and so do I. And I've started my apothecary. Apothecary just is really, a fancy term or old traditional term for medicine cabinet. So if you are a person who loves to cook or even like to cook, a lot of things that we have in our spice rack or on our spice rack or in our spice cabinets, are one and the same when it comes to establishing a medicine cabinet or an apothecary. So like my local Publix had a buy one, get one sale. And they on spices, well, a lot of different things. So they had a buy one get one sale on spices, and I started picking up and collecting spices. So this is cardamom. This is a really good herb to have, or spice to have in your apothecary. And I have it written down what cardamom is good for. I know that it's good for a lot of things, but I want to be able to, if I need to make a tea or some type of poultice, I want to be able to have the things on hand that I need to, for good health, for holistic medicine or medicinal purposes. I would like to have everything that I need together. So what I've been doing is I've been slowly gathering different spices or herbs and putting them, storing them so that I can go ahead and put them into special selected jars. So let me show you the jars that I purchased. So I bought some mason jars. Okay, and in these mason jars is where I will be storing my herbs for my apothecary. Yes. Hey, look, I meant what I said when I told you I wanted to start the apothecary. So I found this really cool Jewish market in my daughter's neighborhood, and I would like to, I should be telling you what the name of it is, but I don't have the name. Okay. Oh, and those jars came with some really nice labels. So all I have to do is just write the name of the herb here and then place them on the jar. So what I have is I purchased some eucalyptus, some moringa, and some lavender. Okay, So I'm going to be putting those, or filling 3 jars with that today on camera. I will be. And what else do I have for you? Oh, I am changing the table setting in my dining room. And you know, right now I have a fall winter setting on the table. I did. I told the tiny studio assistant to remove the china and things off of the table, and so now I think it's just bare. I think it has some placemats, and I think it has some placemats and some depression glass, um, cups and saucers on. That's what's on the table right now. That's it. But all the plates and things like that have been put away. And there's another video on the channel where I talk about, where I show you what the plates were, vintage depression glass. And so I'm still in the depression glass obsession of it all. And so my dining table now will, I've acquired a few pieces that I'm going to share with you today that are going to, I'm going to design and decorate my table. And then after everything comes together, I will take a picture of it and I will show you here in the tiny studio, probably on the community page, child. As I said, I've started this video 3 different times, and the second time was longer, and I'm reaching the point where, you know, I was really getting into filming, and then my neighbor decided to, you know, she decided to come outside and decimate her ex-husband. So, you know, I didn't think that you would want to hear any of that. And I really need to learn how to edit, so I could have edited. But, you know, she was going on, and she went on for about 30 minutes. So, you know, she's a spicy Latina. And so, you know, she had a lot to say, you know, and I was like, go girl. So anyhow, let me show you how I'm going to jar my eucalyptus. Now, I love eucalyptus. I'm a person that has asthma and eczema, allergies, and all of those things. And eucalyptus is really, really fantastical where it comes to anything that has to do with respiratory needs. So let me go ahead and open up this for you. I am really excited though about starting my own apothecary, to be able to have the different things that I need and that my family may need if they, you know, like colds, such as like right now, I'm drinking my fire cider. Okay, remember that? I have it in this water bottle. All right, so I am just, you know, and you remember fire cider is really good for, you know, immune boosting. It has immune boosting properties. It has lots of vitamin C in it, potassium, magnesium, all of the things, all of the vitamins are in it. And, you know, I was out over the weekend and I got this little thing right here. I got my nose pierced. Yay! You know, and one of the things that I'm always very, very, you know, cautious about is being in people's faces. And so the young man who had to pierce my nose, he was in my face. He wasn't coughing or anything, but we were in, you know, pretty close contact. So when I have already been taking my fire cider every day to boost my immune system. And when I came home, I added some golden seal, you know, about 4 drops of golden seal, excuse me, excuse me, 4 drops of golden seal and 2 teaspoons, not just 1, 2 teaspoons of my fire cider. I added that to my water and I drank that because, you know, and I took some vitamin C because I want to continue. If there's anything that I picked up, I want my body to be immediately start fighting it. So eucalyptus, I've been using eucalyptus for a very long time. I have it in the essential oil form, and I also like to use the leaves. If you boil the leaves, you know, and put your face over it if you have a cold or your sinuses are blocked or you have the flu, you know, all of that menthol thingy that comes from the eucalyptus really opens up your nasal passages, your sinuses, and it helps to open up your chest and makes breathing better for you. It's the oils in the eucalyptus that's really powerful and helpful. And so, you know, if you've used Vicks Vapor Rub, which was invented by a black man, if you use anything like that before to a salve, eucalyptus salves or menthol salves to put on your chest when you have a cold or the flu or something like that, this really helps. Also, I have used the eucalyptus essential oils in regards to my eczema. And that's how I was able to, I don't want to say cure my eczema, but to be able to manage it. But I haven't had a bad eczema outbreak in probably about 15 or 16 years, because I stumbled on how to formulate the different essential oils that's really good for clearing up eczema. I've learned how to use them and how to, you know, when I feel when I feel as if I am breaking down to a rash, or I've eaten something, or, you know, maybe it could be dust, some type of animal dander. Whenever I feel a rash is coming, or, you know, allergy has been sparked, I put on this little salve that I've created, and that features eucalyptus, and it immediately soothes the itch and heals. You know, I believe that there are, I want to say, 20 different layers of under our skin, you know, derma, 20 layers of derma or more. And so what, you know, eucalyptus does is not only why it's cooling the outbreak, but it's also healing, because, you know, we scratch, right? Yes, we scratch. So it cools, it helps to heal the skin. And then also what it does is sometimes when you scratch and your nails aren't clean, you can get infections. And so, you know, eucalyptus is a great antibacterial agent as well. I'm really getting into some stuff with you, aren't I? Okay, so here's my bottle. And it's always good to put your herbs, whatever you're using, in glass jars so they can be preserved better. And they'll last a very long time. This eucalyptus smells really good. I've used eucalyptus in the bath. You know, you put it in a little sachet. I want to say it's not sachet, cachet. You know, a little net pouch, which I should write that down, because I need to order some from Amazon. But we're not really doing Amazon. I don't think. I'm going to have to go over to Etsy and order those little cotton pouches, and you can add, you know, eucalyptus or any herbs that you like, add it to a sash like lavender and things like that. And, you know, you can make teas with it, or like I used to do, put them in your lingerie drawer, your pajama drawer, your sock drawer. You could put them in the bath. Now, what I did, because I didn't know any better, when I first started working with herbs, I put eucalyptus and all of that and just sprinkled it in the tub. That wasn't a good idea. That was not a good idea. That was a big old tubby mess. Just a tubby mess. I don't know why I keep saying things as a tubby mess. My sons used to watch the Teletubbies all the time. And whenever they would spill something, or their little place would be dirty or whatever, they would say, oh, it's a tubby mess. So here's my jar right now, filling it up with the eucalyptus leaves. So that's why it's better to use a sachet, a pouch. Why do I keep calling it a sachet? I think it is called a cachet. Whatever it is. It's really good to use a pouch. And I'm trying to think of, there's like a cotton cheesecloth. That's what I'm thinking of. You can get a cotton cheesecloth and you can make your own little pouches to put your herbs in. And I'm going to go over to Etsy and see if I can find some cheesecloth. I might just do that. Just order some, instead of just, spending money on the pouches themselves, just get, a few yards of cheesecloth and I could just make my own pouch. I'm all about, I don't mind spending money, but I feel like if I can save a dime or two, why not? Why not, child? Why not? Okay, so this should be about enough. Smells good. So here is my eucalyptus. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And these, I believe these are like 6-ounce jars. No, these are 8-ounce. These are 8-ounce mason jars. So it's on tight. And let me seal this back up. And if you properly store herbs, they will basically last years. Okay, let's put the label on. Okay, look at the little labels. Aren't they cute? Okay, let me see. So when I first started on YouTube, let's see if this no. When I first started on YouTube, I was, really apprehensive and cautious about my appearance because, when I started YouTube, I was a big girl. I'm still a big girl, but I was an even bigger girl. And I was very conscious about my appearance. And not to say that I'm still not conscious, because I am very conscious about my appearance. Okay, that's not gonna work. But I decided that it really, I decided that it just really doesn't matter to me about what people think. When I first started doing YouTube, people would tell me, oh, in the comment section, oh, you need to lose some weight. You need to lose some weight. You need to lose some weight. And that kind of hurt my feelings. But, so what? I mean, have you looked at the statistics on how much the average American weighs? I mean, yeah. And being that I not only, had to deal with anxiety issues, heart disease, lung disease, all of those things, I had to deal with the fact that, a lot of the medications that I was taking helped me to procure the weight, especially when I was on birth control. Child, when I was on the birth control, Lord, I'm going to tell you one thing about birth control. Birth control will add the weight for real. I'm looking at all of these pens, and none of these pens are the right pen for me to be able to label this jar. That sucks. Okay, let's see about this one. Okay, that's a pink one. So I'm going to need like a white chalky label. That really sucks. But in the meantime, I need to label this jar. Let me see if I can find something else. But yeah, when I first started the channel, I was like, you know, and I have these labels. These are wide labels. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them. And I'm not going to let, I am not going to let one situation stop me, child. But you know, that was one of the reasons why I, at first was like, I can't have a YouTube channel. I can't start a YouTube channel because, I'm fat. But I'm not the only one that's fat. So are a whole lot of other people on YouTube. So many people in the world today are overweight. So what? I felt that I had something to say. I feel that I have a voice. And I have something to contribute to the landscape. So if you feel like that, then why, sit back and block a blessing? Because being on YouTube has really been a blessing for me. When I started YouTube, I didn't start it to make money. I started this YouTube channel, because I wanted to share things with you. I want to share some things of interest with you. I want to share my passions with you. It wasn't about me making money. It wasn't about me, trying to be an influencer or anything like that. That wasn't my goal. That's still not my goal, And I guess it's really all about how you see things and how you go about or how you move about in your life. And so I just felt like I had something to say, and okay, I might not be the most aesthetically pleasing looking individual, even though I don't really think there's anything wrong with the way I look, besides the fact that I may be overweight. But other than that, so what? So who cares? If my mama love it, then that's all that count, right? My kids love me. They love it, so that's all that count. That should count. I mean, my husband loves it. So that's really all that should count, right? In my opinion. In my opinion, that's really all that counts. And the fact that if you love yourself, that's the whole thing. Loving yourself. Okay, let me mark this label as eucalyptus real quick. I want to make sure I spell it correctly. Something's telling me don't do it with this Sharpie. Let me see. Let me practice. Okay. Okay, that's fine. All right. Eucalyptus leaves. I think that's incorrect. I think it's supposed to be leaves. It's supposed to be L-E-A-F-S and not L-E-A-V-E-S. Come on, girl. I call myself sometimes I call myself the Lois Lane of journalism. Because sometimes my spelling be all the way off, child. Okay, let me put this over here. Yeah, I remember how Lois Lane was. She was not a great speller. All right, let's try it again, Trey. Try it again. But yeah, I didn't start YouTube because I wanted to be an influencer and, I didn't start YouTube for that. I started YouTube because I felt as if I had something to say and I wanted to contribute to. Did I lose my scissors? I wanted to make a contribution. I wanted to, you know, let other women of a certain age know that they can get on YouTube as well and share their lives, share important aspects of their lives and in their world with everyone else, with people who are interested in it. And so what? I'm fat. You know, I'm not gonna be fat forever, right? Right? I've already lost 120 something pounds, so I'm very well and very much aware that I have a situation that needs to be taken care of. But, you know, I'm doing it. I mean, should I wait another year and a half and then start a YouTube channel? I mean, no. Why would you put your life on hold for other people? Right? And that's why I got this finally got my nose ringing, my nose piercing, because, you know, I was waiting for the perfect time. I was waiting for the best time to do it. You know, there's no better time to do it than to do it, and to do it right now. You know, what am I waiting on? Just do it, because, you know, this is something that I've always wanted to do. You know, and because of a lot of different reasons and the way I begin to say, oh, what my mom gonna say? Girl, child, I'm gonna be 60 years old. I'm going to be 60 years old in a few years. So it's like this. Either you start getting busy with living now or just hang it up. What are you worried about? And that's what I keep asking myself. What are you worried about? Just do it. You know, so what? Other people might not like it. So what? Somebody might say, oh, I don't know why you did that. So what if somebody think it's dumb? Okay, there it is. Eucalyptus leaves. Well, so what? You have something to say. And if you have something to say, say it. Don't wait on other people. Just do it. Okay, now I'm going to put the label on here. Even though I know it's eucalyptus leaves, but I do have another I have another package that has, okay, let's see how that looks. If it looks dumb, let me know. I wish I had the kind of scissors where you could just, you know, crinkle, you know, you can make crinkle paper designs and stuff. But for right now, this is going to have to do. Okay, eucalyptus leaves. All right. And then when I get some more fancier looking labels, I'll put that on here. But in the meantime, we're just going to do this. Eucalyptus leaves. All right, that's a label. All right, let's do another one. But yeah, like I said, I was just apprehensive. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. Should I do this? And then when I got the nasty comment, oh, you're fat. You need to lose some weight. I was like, oh, I am not going to let this fool keep me from doing something that I want to do. And then another reason why I almost, you know, felt, well, I put railroads in front of myself. I put blocks in front of myself. Another reason why is because I have a gap in my tooth. And even though it's never bothered me, it's a family trait, okay? But a lot of people in my family have had their gaps closed. But me, you know, I didn't. And I just have never felt a kind of way about my gap. I've had it all my life. And, you know, the gap and being bucktooth. So, you know, I was worried about that. You know, oh, I have buck teeth. You know, I've always been teased and bullied about my teeth. You know, so should I start a YouTube channel and expose my buck teeth for the whole world to see? But who cares? You know, do you know that Dionne Warwick had buck teeth? You know, but Dionne Warwick is one of the greatest singers of our time. you know? So what? My grandmother used to say that, when I would complain about my beaver teeth, buck teeth. And she would say, well, look at Dionne Warwick. And I'd be like, Dionne Warwick? How is Dionne Warwick relevant to me? But when I would look at her videos, or well, not videos, I would look at her album covers that my grandmother had, and I would say, wow, she's out here, yeah. So what? Or you think of Freddie Mercury from Queen. I mean, just a rock and roll icon. Okay, Freddie Mercury, buck teeth. So does it matter? It really doesn't matter. If you have something to say, get out here and say it. Be yourself. Don't let what other people say about you, and don't let your own insecurities hold you back from doing something that you really want to do. That is the lesson that I am constantly learning. Did I already tell you that that Publix had a sale going on? It was like a buy one get one sale, and that's how I was able to get a lot of different herbs and whatnot. The one thing you have to remember with herbs and spices is that you need to keep them in glass jars. If you keep them in glass jars, you will have them indefinitely. Of course, you need to stay on top of the herbs that you use on your food. You need to keep on top of that. I usually 9 times out of 10, I go through herbs like onion powder, garlic powder, Himalayan salt, black pepper. I run through those things within maybe 6 months. So I'm always replenishing. And not even 6 months. I would say every 3 months I run out. So I'm always in the process of replenishing my spices. But these spices or these herbs that I'm using right now, they could last indefinitely because I'm putting them in glass jars right now. Okay, so let me open up another. So as I said before, you have to be yourself. And there's nothing wrong with being yourself. I think that I'm going to make the label first and then go about putting the herbs inside the jars, or placing the herbs inside the jars. But anyhow, I didn't start YouTube to make a lot of money, even though it was my goal to, yes, market some things from my studio. That was my goal as well. And when I was really doing my vintage Coach collection, I did also sell some Coach bags, and I'm about to do it again in the next couple of months. I have some bags that I'm going to be bringing in. I usually change my wardrobe or change my bags. I put all the fall winter bags away, and then I bring out the spring summer bags. And so I have some spring summer bags and a couple of wintry bags, fall winter bags that I really did not use. I didn't use them at all last season. And so my thing is that, maybe it's time to give them and place them into another home. Let them see some action, see some of the world, instead of being, in boxes put away, because I didn't use them. So, it's all about sustainability, and it's really all about staying intentional with organizing. And that's my goal for 2025, is to be intentional with my organization skills. Okay, so this jar is going to be for the moringa. So let me make sure I spell it correctly. Moringa. Okay. I'm really just getting started with my apothecary, but my main goal is to eventually find a distributor of herbs that's organic, and a distributor here in Florida that I can, really trust. Because, with any type of herb or medicinal item, you want to make sure you get the best, and you want to have the best distributor or the best manufacturer. So I would like to find a distributor who has a farm and that uses zero pesticides, and uses all organic materials to grow the herbs. So I'm still in the process of looking for that. That's why these jars are small, because eventually when I find a distributor, then I'm going to buy in mass quantity, and then my mason jars will be larger. Okay, let me write this. Moringa leaves. Not the not the marker going out on me. Moringa. Moringa leaves. Okay. All right. Let me put that on here. So, anyhow, moringa. But I think that I will. I think I'm going to go on Etsy and find some better labels for my jars. I'm sure when my honey come in, he's going to be like, this is ridiculous. But they're labeled, and especially since I have different leaves, I have the eucalyptus and the moringa, see the leaves look similar. So I better go ahead and label that. I mean, sure, you don't want to mislabel stuff. You know what I mean? I really became interested in starting my apothecary way before who became president, because I began to feel as if, we need to take charge of our own health. You know what this smells like? It smells like this pill that my mom used to take back in the 70s. There used to be this company called Shackley. Let me know in the comment sections if you remember of a company back in the 70s called Shackley. It was like a multi-level marketing thing. And so all my mom's friends was selling this stuff called Shackley, and it came in a brown jar. And she used to take the pills, and she used to give me the pills every day. And these smelled just like the Shackley pills. And I have to ask her. She probably don't remember, but I have to ask her, does she remember what it was? It smells just like that. And you could get it in pill form, and then you could, it came in a powder form as well. And she would give me, put a teaspoon of it in my water like I'm doing today. And she would shake it up. But it smells just like that. I can hear the hubby now. I really should have a funnel, but my funnel is in the kitchen somewhere. Okay, there it is. That should be enough. I like these Ziploc bags too. This is really great. If I could just seal everything up. Hey, honey. Today is my anniversary. I was looking on social media, and I realized that March 31st, I've been on YouTube for 3 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So I got the moringa leaves in here. And there is the moringa. So I wrote down what moringa is really good for, but I would also like to get all of these herbs in an organic form. Honey, I was filming earlier, And I had maybe about 20 minutes of filming. And our beautiful Latina neighbor, she decided she was going to go outside and get her ex-husband straight. And she did so for like 20 minutes. So I had to stop filming. Yeah, so that's why I'm still in the process of filming now.
So you knew it was her ex-husband?
Well,
she's talking about the kids?
Yeah, they were talking about the kids. Yes, yes. You know, co-parenting can be a mother. You know, a real mother. And she was getting that dude straight, you know. But you know, he'll be over here later to get her straight, right? Because that's what they do. That's what they do. And they be fussing and fighting. You know, fussing and fighting and always blaming each other. Blaming each other for whatever situation that the kids may be in. They blame each other instead of blaming themselves. You know, blaming themselves. Because when I listen to their conversations as a therapist, I realize that they're both at fault. Okay, so I have another jar, and this is going to be for the lavender. And I really like that Jerusalem store. It's not a Jerusalem store. It's called Jerusalem International Market is what it's called. And it's really I don't want to say that they are Jewish.
They are?
Aren't they?
I thought they was Arabic.
You know, you might be right. I think they are Arabic.
You know, because they got claim on Jerusalem too.
They do, because Arabs and Jewish people both live in Jerusalem. But anyhow, and I think this is, I can't read, I used to be able to read Arabic because I took an Arabic class. So I used to could read it, but Arabic, and yeah, you're right. I think this is Arabic. It's not Hebrew. But anyhow, I really like that market. Let me tell you a funny story. The honey and I was at the market 2 weeks ago. And what I like about going to Arabic markets or Jewish markets is because I like the kosher foods and I like the halal foods. Because I feel like, you know, I feel like they take more pride and care in the way that they butcher and take care of, and where the meats come from, like lamb, chicken, beef. They take more pride in all of that. And so the honey and I was at the market, okay? And they had this lamb there. And, you know, there's already a language barrier going on between the both of us. And also a culture thing going on. Because I'm sure that whenever I go to the market, the husbands are doing the talking. And see, I was doing the talking, right? And so they were already like, who is this lady? Why is she talking? Why is she speaking to us? And I saw some lamb shoulder that I wanted. And he said, I asked how much was the lamb, and he said it was $7.99, right? And I was like, oh, okay, $7.99. All right. And then my husband, I was like, well, I don't want this whole thing. Can you cut it for me? And all this other stuff. And then my honey kept saying, he didn't mean it was $7.99. He meant it was $7.99 a pound. And it just wasn't registering to me because, you know, when you go to like Publix or Walmart or something like that, and you go and buy a lamb shoulder or a lamb breast or lamb chops, you know, it does, even though it says, you know, in poundage how much it is, they also tell you what the specific price is. All in all, they tell you how many pounds it is, and then they like, okay, this is going to cost you $30, right? So here I am thinking, okay, $7.99. And then I'm like, well, can you cut that? And then my honey was like, he's saying $7.99 a pound. And so I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, it dawned on me that, you know, even though I had him cut it, it was still $7.99 a pound. And so it was lamb shoulder, and I didn't get the whole shoulder. I got about, I think I got about I got about 5 pounds of lamb shoulder. Yeah, that was a lot. And I ended up making a lamb stew, and that lasted us like, child, about 3 days, I think. We ate on that lamb stew. It was delicious. Ooh, this smells good. This is lavender. Oh, if you could smell that. Oh, it smells so good. So I said, of course, the next time, even though I was there at the market again this weekend, I didn't buy any meat. I said the next time I have to do any interaction, I'll just let my husband do it. That's what I'm saying. Like I said earlier, or maybe I did say it. I don't know. Like I said, this is like the second or third time I'm making this video. But like I said before, I am a wife. I've been a wife for 35 years and in a relationship with him for 37 years. So there's a lot of things that I take for granted that my husband does, that I don't do. And he really is good with the math. It's not to say that I'm not, I know 2 plus 2 is 4. I know the basics of math, but he's really good at it because, as an engineer, that's what he does every day, all day long. Okay, so this is lavender. So I'm going to leave the label off of this one because I know this is lavender. Let me tell you, I love lavender oil, essential oils. They're just really great. Lavender is really good. And this is what I found out when my husband was going through chemotherapy. Lavender is really good for pain. Did you know that? He had neuropathy in his fingers and in his leg, his whole thigh and leg, his feet. He had neuropathy really, really bad from the chemotherapy. And using, I think it was balsam fir essential oil, lavender, shoot. What's it? It was an herb. It was an oil called copiaba. It's spelled Copiaba. It's really expensive, and I think it was. I can't remember the other oils that I used, but you use those oils one after the other on the where the site where the neuropathy is occurring, and that helps to soothe the pain. And one thing about lavender also is lavender is good for insomnia. I use it for migraines. When I had migraines really, really bad, lavender is excellent, really good for easing the pains of migraines. So as I said before, I have this in essential oil, and now I also have the flowers. So this is good. So there it is. So here are the beginnings of my apothecary right here. Yay! Getting organized. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Now, as I said to you earlier, see, I scratched my nose again because, I'm thinking that, there's some type of, some type of thing in my nose, right? And I want to go in and pluck it out, but no, can't do that. Let me tell you that nose piercing experience Saturday was something else. It really, really was. It was painful. I'm going to tell you that. I ain't going to lie to you. Nell is not going to lie to you. I am not going to tell you that getting my nose pierced was an exciting and, invigorating experience, because it wasn't. It was painful. Okay. And, I don't know. I just felt like, it was just painful. I'm just going to tell you, it was just painful, but it looks good. It's a tiny diamond stud in there. And so, which is cool. So I already have, let me tell you, in my younger days, I had, three holes here, three holes on this ear, and then one in each one hole up here. I still have this one. I still have this piercing there. My other holes have closed up, and I have a keloid here on that third hole. And then let me see. I have a tiny, tiny keloid right here behind the second hole here. So, I've been toying around with, getting this ear pierced again. And I told the young man that I was going to come back and get it done. But this hurt. Now, when I got my ears pierced years and years and years ago, almost 40 years ago, when I got my ears pierced, they used a gun for that. But they don't do that anymore. They don't use a gun to pierce your ears or pierce your nose. Oh, no, 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 no. No. Okay. And I don't know. I think I would have preferred he used the gun to do my nose. I really do. But as my daughter said, the gun is really not, the ear piercing gun is really not, something that, professional piercers use anymore because of the fact that, they do produce the keloids, And so, I haven't had any issues with my nose piercing at this time. No bleeding, no pain, nothing like that. So, I guess everything went well. I went to a professional. I didn't go to Claire's or anything. I don't even think Claire's do nose piercings. Do they? Let me know in the comment section if Claire's does nose piercings. I'm going to put my mini apothecary to the side. And if you didn't already know, happy anniversary to me. Happy anniversary to Simply Nell's Tiny Studio, celebrating 3 years here on YouTube. 3 years, 327 episodes, and numerous lives, and a handful of shorts. Wow, isn't that a great thing? Happy anniversary. As I said earlier, I was apprehensive about starting a YouTube channel. And the reason why I was apprehensive about it is because, I just felt like I knew I had something to offer, but I just felt like, I am not, what am I trying to say? I am not, the best looking girl of the bunch. I'm okay, but I'm not all that. And when you're in this thing of being in front of the camera, you are very conscious, self-conscious about how you look. And I feel like, well, since I am a big girl, I was just like, do people want to see big girls on the screen? Then I turned around and I saw so many, curvaceous women on YouTube just talking about their lives, just, going to thrift stores, shopping, buying vintage Coach, new Coach, just enjoying themselves. And why not? I've seen a lot of girls who are, my size, curvaceous, and they're modeling clothes. They're doing hauls, Shane hauls, and showing you how to put an outfit together, all of the things. And that really encouraged me. And that's why I say you cannot stand in the way of yourself. Sometimes we get in our own way. We stay stuck in our own heads, and we start saying, oh, I can't do this because, when you really can. You really can, and you really should, because you never know who's watching you and who is being inspired by what you do. You never truly know. And I was inspired by what they did, and I said, hey, if I can get on here and get on YouTube and get on this camera and talk to it, why not? why shouldn't I? And along the way, I may say something that may inspire someone to live out their best life or to live out their passion. You just never know. You just never truly know. Okay, so before I told you that I am preparing to change the landscape of my dining room table, and I'm trying to spring summer it up. So I've removed all of the vestiges of the fall winter season, and now I'm in the process of getting things together to create my spring summer landscape. And so I've decided that the colors I'm rolling with are going to be yellow, blue, and pink. And so yellow, blue, and pink. And I love, love, love depression glass, and I love, love, love crystal, and I love, love, love anything that's vintage. Vintage for me is, I'm going back at least 50, well, I want to say from 80 to between 80 and 50 years old. That's, for me, that's vintage. Now, traditionally, vintage is anything that's 20 years and older, right? So I love vintage things. In my home, I have lots and lots and lots and lots of vintage crystal, china, silver, because I love collecting teapots and tea, coffee. I love tea sets, silver tea sets and services. So I have been collecting depression vintage depression uh, dining ware. And I think I purchased some Federal glass plates and things like that for the last season. And so this time I'm not with Federal, but I'm with Anchor Hocking, and I'm checking out their dinnerware or glassware. And so today some things came in the mail, and I want to share them with you right now. Okay, let's see. Where is my knife? My mail opener. And I wanted to order, some napkins, because I want my landscaping in the dining room to be sort of along the lines of perhaps, a vintage tea party. So I want my dining room to be, a vintage tea party like setting. So I'm gonna achieve this through depression glass and crystal. If I can get this open. Okay, let's see. I really hate opening things. I really do. Ugh. Oh, I hate opening things. Well, what about this part right here? I wonder if I can. It's wrapped very well, because what's in here is crystal, so it's wrapped. Let me take this off. Vintage crystal, as a matter of fact. And if I am correct, this is vintage napkin holders. If I'm correct, I think that's what this is. Okay. Vintage crystal napkin holders. I had an X-Acto knife around here. I don't know, is that what it's called? An X-Acto knife? I had one. I think my son has it in his little studio. We're a family of artists, so lots of studio stuff happening. Lots of studios in this home. Okay, let me see. I want to have a garbage bag to put this. To put these little thingies. Oh, I have a garbage container here in the tiny studio. Let me pull it out. Okay. Let's see. Garbage can. Okay. Let me, because there's a lot of these things, you see, and you know, I don't want to make a mess in here because I just got this place organized. So I do not want to make a huge mess in the tiny studio because the tiny studio is tiny, child. Okay, let me take all this stuff out of here. Okay. So anyhow, I am in the process of, I have a plate that's coming. One of these boxes have plates in them, but they're the small plates. The large plate is a Anchor Hockey Waterford waffle plate. It's about, I believe it's 9.5 inches, and it's clear. So that's going to be pretty when it comes. So I was thinking of just being colorful. So it's going to be a clear 9-inch dinner plate, then a bread plate, a dessert plate, and I believe the one of the places here is a you'll see it. That is the bread plate, I believe, and then I have some cups and saucers, the dessert plates that's coming, and I was looking at this really, really nice Waterford crystal bowl on eBay that I have submitted an offer for, and it's about 11.5 inches, and that would be really great for the centerpiece of my table. And you have to, when it comes to, you know, that's the reason. Oh, look at that. She says, thank you. Faith's Kitchen. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, thank you. All right, so I still haven't found the napkins that I want to use on the table because I want them to be vintage napkins, and I haven't found the ones that I wanted yet. So I'm going to have to keep on. I have a vintage consignment store that I like to shop at, and so I'm going to head over there this week to see what they have. But anyhow, I found the vintage crystal napkin holders or napkin rings, so I went ahead and purchased that right away. There are 6 of them. Oh, look at that. Look. Oh yeah, they're hand cut and have over 24% lead in them. And look, here it is. Ooh, that's beautiful. Crystal napkin rings. Oh, that is just gorgeous. Look at that. I love thrifting. I love buying things secondhand. I love buying vintage antique things because I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of stuff made between made 50 and 60 and 70 years ago, and if they're still around today, you know why, because they were made with some good stuff, because they were well crafted, and I would know, I'm a crafts person. So this is beautiful, and it still have the tag on it that says vintage. What it doesn't say vintage, that says 24%, over 24% hand cut lead. And it's weighty. It's weighty. It's crystal and it's weighty. I think I talked to you guys about what crystal is. I think I have an example of what crystal really is in its raw state. So this is crystal. This is what crystal looks like. This is a crystal. One of my beautiful crystal pieces is here in the tiny studio. quartz crystal. And that is what this is. It's just been refined and fired and, you know, shined up. But this is what it starts as. It starts as this. This is what comes out of the ground. And I think a mosquito just bit me. But anyhow, we live around a lot of trees and, you know, lakes and swampy areas. So, mosquito. I think I see my self right there. I'm going to use it in a second. But anyhow, these are the, I don't have the napkins yet. Do not have the napkins just as of yet. But I do now have the napkin rings or the napkin holders. Y'all hear that? It's crystal. Real crystal. I love crystal. So there are 6 of them. She has them very nicely wrapped. So I'll put these back in here. And I guess when I find, I didn't want to wait because, you know, sometimes I say, well, I don't have the napkins yet. So it doesn't, I shouldn't buy the napkin rings as of yet. But I decided to go ahead and buy the napkin rings or the napkin holders. You know, I saw it. I liked it. They are so cute. And I say, you know, if I wait around, you know, someone else is going to see the beauty in them and purchase them, and then I won't be able to, you know. These are really nice. They are not Waterford, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful. All right, so let me put these back in the box. Nicely packaged, so I'll make sure I give her a really good review. Here are the other 3 are in this package. Okay. So let's go on to another box. Let's see what we have here. These are the small plates to go to the table. Sit right here. All right, let me go ahead and open that. So like I said, I am just really excited. And I love designing. That's my thing, decorating and designing. I love doing these things. They bring an excitement. I love going into my, you know, waking up in the morning and, you know, going out into, you know, the kitchen or the main areas of my home. And I love looking at beautiful things. And there's nothing wrong with having beautiful things in your house, especially, can't see how this is done, especially if you found some beautiful things for a decent price. You know, because a lot of times when people think that, you know, you are many people think that if you want something nice, you got to pay top dollar for it. You know, and that's not necessarily true. You know, there are times when, you know, you have to spend the money. You know, I'm not going to lie to you on that. There are times when you have to spend the money. It's imperative that you spend the money. Like on bedding, you know, like beds. You know, like when I purchased my son's bed cost me a lot of money. Because they were bunk beds. They were made with a certain type of wood, you know, and I wanted those beds to last. Okay, so they were expensive. My bed, my frame, you know, I want those things to last, so they are expensive. You know, there are certain times when you have to invest in certain things for your household because you want them to what? You want them to last. And that's understandable. However, there are moments in time where you can most definitely get away with, you know, buying things on consignment, buying things, thrifting things. you will most definitely come out ahead when you do. I'm still opening this box because I really don't open things around here. My husband opens all the boxes. Sometimes I open boxes that are easy. Like this box is not easy to open. It's not easy at all. I don't even know what's going on here. This box is giving me the flex. I mean, I see right here that you can open it from right here. I feel that you have to open it from the side and then open it from the top. But let me see if I can open from this side. It says fragile, handle with care. Well, there's nothing else. I mean, I have no choice but to handle this with care. I have absolutely zero choice but to do so. You know what I mean? But I am determined. I'm not going to let this box beat me. I refuse to let this box beat me. But, you know, like I said, there are moments where you have to, you know, you have to, I guess you have to say for yourself, you know, hey, this is what I want. I want to spend money on this. You know, I want to spend my coins on, you know, a living room set or something of that nature. I want to spend my coins on that. And I've done both. I spent money, you know, on buying, you know, living room furniture, dining room furniture, stuff like that. And I spent that money, large amounts of money on, you know, living room furniture, dining room furniture, stuff, you know, things of that nature, patio furniture, because, you know, you have this thing and you listen to other people and people, you know, they expect you, oh, you move into a new house, you got to have new furniture. You know, all the furniture has to be new. You know, you don't want any secondhand stuff, it's got to be new. And, you know, outside of a mattress, I don't think anything is wrong with having secondhand furniture in your home. You know, I really, really don't. I got that box open. Finally. Okay, so let's see what we're dealing with. I see right now they were not dealing with what I thought I was going to be dealing with. I was hoping that these were going to be bread plates, but these are not bread plates. These are saucers that need cups to go with them. So this is not what I was hoping for. But let's look at them anyway. So that means I'm going to have to okay, I'm not happy. Okay, all right. So here are the plates. These are what are they? I believe that they're hobnail. No, that's not true. They are Anchor Hawking bubble plates. They're vintage depression glass. So these are saucers. And so a cup will go on top of this. So now I'm going to have to get the cup that goes to this because this is not a dessert plate. It's a saucer. So you know that when I write the review for this, I'm going to let them know that these are not dessert plates or bread plates. These are saucers and you need a cup to go to them. Oh, the things that I go through. Yeah, these are. You need the coffee cup or the tea cups to go to them. So as I said, these are Anchor Hawkings. They're called bubble glass plates. See that? Very nice detail. They need to be washed. And these are not dessert plates, and they're not bread plates because there's the indentation indentation. Did I say that correctly? Yes. That's where your cup will go. Your teacup will go right there. Not a slice of bread. Not a slice of cake either. So I'm not gonna send it back. I'll just buy the saucers to go with it. So that's just going to change the landscape of my table. Um, because that means that if I'm going to have, I had thought about having pink saucers and cups to go on the table, right? But I guess I can go ahead and do pink. Let me see, it's clear waffle plate, and then on top of that, I'll have uh, a pink depression glass. Excuse me, a depression glass bread plate or lunch plate on top of it, and maybe a fruit, one of those miniature or little small fruit or berry bowl to go on top of that. And maybe I'll use select the color maybe of a darker blue, or maybe if I find some blue willow plates or bowls, I'll add that next to it and have pop up color like pink and yellow to go with it. But that's fine. I was going to get some excuse me, some pink saucers and teacups to go with this, but this is blue, so I'll just buy the matching saucers. There's no problem, but it's not what I exactly wanted. But I will not be writing. I'll write a nice review. I'll let them know that, let her know that everything was nicely packed and everything, but the description was off. That's not what I wanted. But the plate should be coming. The dinner plate should be coming within a couple of days, so I'm excited about that. Well, we've been on the line for an hour and over an hour and 26 minutes. And I just want to thank you for hanging out in the tiny studio with me as I, talk to you about, how excited I am that, I've been on the line for 3 years. That is wonderful. I'm so excited about that. And, I have a lot of ideas for this new season of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio, and hopefully, you'll stick with me and also think about becoming a sustainable member of the channel, because when you're a sustainable member of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio, there are a lot of things that I do here. Like I have lighting, I have, laptops over here, so I can see what's going on, cameras, all of those things go into, maintaining the channel. So if you would like to be a sustainable member, that's wonderful. All of the details will be in the description box below this video. So once again, thank you so much. I hope you hit that like button. This has been Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. I'm your girl, Nell. Happy anniversary to us. Happy 3 years. The next time you join me in the tiny studio, hopefully I'll be using my yarn winder. I can get a chance to use that with you today. You hear it sounds so nice. I love that sound. I did get a chance to wind up some yarn yesterday. And let me see. Oh, I put all of those cakes inside of my granny square bag. And so here's a cake that I was able to put together from my, you can't see it. You can only see this part of it. Look at that. This is the cake that I made from my yarn winder. And I had such a mess. Like all of this was a mess. All of this was just a tangled mess. This yarn, all of this was a tangled mess. And that's why I needed the yarn winder, so I could put all of this stuff together and so it could be neat, I went to Michael's over the weekend as well because Michaels was having some type of sale. As usual, I'm really not a Michaels fan, but I am a fan of this yarn here. I love the colorway, and I just think that this is going to make a fantastic granny square. So maybe the next time I pop into the studio, I will get a chance to show you what I've made with this. But I'm still on my granny square journey to complete. I have 2 blankets I'm working on, which is funny, but I'm really working on 1 blanket, but it's actually 2 blankets that I'm working on at the same time. And so let me see, I have squares in my handy dandy Wonder Woman bucket, and here are the squares that I've completed within the last 2 weeks. Granny squares. And I realized that some of the granny squares that I have, they are not the right size for that black blanket that's right here. They're not the right size. These granny squares were some of the first granny squares I ever made. And you can tell because the hole is large and it's kind of, the square itself is misshapen compared to this granny square. And you can tell I've really improved. You can tell. And so, like someone told me in the comments, one of my older videos, they told me not to throw away my, crudely made granny squares, to keep them and to put them into, do something with them, put them into a blanket, incorporate them into something and turn it into a work of art. And that's what I did. That is this black blanket right here. Features a lot of the granny squares that I made when I first started out, and was unsure of how to make them correctly, didn't really get the dynamics down of how to make a really good viable granny square. And I did save them, and I put them into this blanket. Well, I saved them and I started to put together a blanket. So this is the beginnings of that scrap granny square blanket. And it really does, let me see. This is one of the first granny squares I made. And this is with single crochet. One of the first ones. And I made this granny square maybe about 6 years ago. And then let's see, of course, this one, that's something that I made about 6 years ago, learning how to make that flower in the middle. And here's another one. These granny squares are pretty, about 6 years old, and so I kept them like the lady suggested, the commenter, the tiny studio guest suggested, and I kept them, and now I'm putting them together. And so eventually, I guess tonight, I'll work on beginning to attach another roll. But I think this is cute. This will be my own blanket that I'll use, here in my home, to show that, if you keep working, at it, you'll eventually learn it. But you have to keep working. You have to keep trying. In other words, you have to keep trying. You cannot give up. You have to keep trying. So put all these back into a container here. So excited about working on my blankets and whatnot. So excited about that. Now, if you remember, this blanket right here was the spring equinox blanket of 2024. But as I began to work on it, I realized that I didn't like it. I didn't like the design at all. As a matter of fact, I don't like the color combination as it is. And I was like, well, I'm gonna keep on going because eventually I have an idea about what I want to do. But for me, what I should have done was just frog it. I should have just frogged it. That's what I should have done, which I did not do. And when your first mind tell you to do something, you need to pay attention and listen because I should have frogged this blanket, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to frog it. And since I have my yarn winder here, it's going to be easy to frog it because I'm going to just frog, and then as I frog it, I'm going to turn it into a ball of yarn because I want to keep everything organized because this year I am doing what? I am going to be intentional with organization. So I am going to hop off of here now. I know I said that before, but this is a special episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Thank you, thank you, thank you for a wonderful 3 years. 3 years. 3 years on YouTube. What a wonderful thing. I'm just so honored and so blessed to still be here. And I'm so honored and so blessed to have you as my tiny studio guest. And, thank you for listening to me. Listen to me ramble and talk about things that interest me. Thank you. You know, thank you for, sharing your questions with me about, dreads. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for your comments and all of the things that you do every time you tune in to an episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to hop off of here. A mosquito bit me, so I'm going to have to put some eucalyptus oil on it because I have scratched it, and eucalyptus oil has some good um, microbial chemicals in it that's going to, help me to not get an infection. I don't think I've broken the skin or anything, but, I'm going to put some on there anyway, just in case. And it will also ease the itch, most definitely. All right, so I'm out of here. I am out of here. We talked about a lot of things today. I hope I talked about all the things that mattered. I showed you some. I did a unboxing. I did. I started my apothecary with you. I did. And what else did I do? I made some labels. Oh, I talked to you about some crochet. I did. We did a lot today. We really did. I think that we did. It's a pretty long video. It's going to show you some of the fire cider and water. Why is it called fire cider? Because that baby is hot, and right now my tongue is tingling, even though I diluted the fire cider with water, and you can see the little peppers floating around in there. There are peppers in here. I think it's 2 kinds of pepper in my fire cider. It's jalapeno peppers and just regular red pepper flakes. The next time I make it, and I'm getting ready to make it again because I want to take some home to my mom and my grandmother, I'm going to be using cayenne pepper. And I can't remember. There's another pepper. I think it's called a Scotch bonnet. I'm going to use that for my next fire cider as well because Scotch bonnet has a lot of healing properties in it. And I cannot remember what the traditional or the indigenous name for Scotch bonnet is because it's not Scotch bonnet pepper, it's something else. But I'll have that information for you next time. Okay, so thank you for hanging out with me today. I'm going to get off the line, child, and I'm going to move on. My son just came over. He's going to have dinner with us again because, yesterday was Sunday dinner. So he's over to have, I guess a continuation of that. I smell some chicken going on. some chicken fries. I guess my daughter is cooking, Tiny Studio Sister is cooking some chicken wings. So we're going to enjoy that, and I'm going to enjoy my family. And I will talk to you next time here in the Tiny Studio. And as I said again, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, and think about, if you're already a subscriber, please think about becoming a Tiny Studio Lounge member, and lounge member, sustainable member. And that's when I go into the tiny studio, and you know, you get behind the scenes information. You get to see me, without the makeup on, talking about a lot of different things. So I will catch you next time. Okay, don't forget, Wednesday is Dread Like Love Day, Dread Like Love Video Day. You know what time it is. It's that time we talk about all things dreadlocks. So there's another exciting episode coming up on Wednesday. So I will talk to you later. All right, thank you for your support. Bye bye.